Hello everybody, it's SHAZIZZ here. Hope you can see this pretty well. Kind of looks a little blurry on the screen there, can't tell. Anyway, what you're looking at there is what I call my static blaster. I'll explain it to you in a minute. I just want to show you something. What I want you to focus on is this rotor right here. Ow, ow, ow. I want you to focus on that rotor right there. I'm going to show you what you can do with static electricity if you understand what it is that I'm trying to share with you. Wait for that to come to a stop. Do. Alright, now I'm going to spin that other rotor on the opposite side up with that little Dremel you see laying on the floor there. Just keep an eye on that rotor. Alright, well, I'm using a little sanding wheel on that so it's grinding away at the plastic. And I lost my ground over here. But you saw when it moved, let me try it one more time. Now I got my ground back. That wasn't good. Alright, well, I used a little sander wheel on there, so I'm tearing that wheel up pretty fast. Let me play this back and see how it looks. Stay tuned. Peace and love. Alright, so that sander wheel wasn't a good idea on that plastic. It kind of made a mess out of it. But you can see that when this thing got to spinning really fast, it would start moving that rotor on the other side from the static buildup. And in just a second I'll tell you how it is that I got it to do that. Wait for that thing to stop there. Now it's probably going to make a liar out of me, but I'm waiting for a little charge to build up. It should be, if there's enough charge built up. Ouch! It wants to turn in the opposite direction that this is going. Alright, well, I'm not going to be able to get it to do that right now. Anyway, let me pause this and then I'll turn some lights on and turn that thing off so it ain't messing with the camera, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright, well, I don't know what's going on with my computer here. It's going really super slow. So I'm recharging this up a little bit, and I'm going to shut the power off. Alright, now the power is shut off. So you can see it's still trying to move a little bit, I hope, unless my head was in the way. Alright, now let's see if we can just go ahead and film this. It probably moves slowly, but alright, what we got here is a rotor on a stainless steel pin, surrounded by a aluminum foil ring, which is grounded to this steel rod down there, stainless steel rod. We've got 2 soda bottles cut in half and split down the center, and inside is aluminum foil and outside is aluminum foil. So essentially this is one plate, this is one plate, that is one plate. It's a capacitor. On this side, this is one plate, that's one plate. It's a capacitor. If you see down here, there's aluminum brush on this side. And if you can see over here with the dust on it from where I was grinding that off with the doggone sanding Dremel, it's probably making my connection bad. A little too much dust going on. Hope I got some of the lid left. But anyway, what's going on here is why this Van de Graaff generator is charging this thing up. It's charging this capacitor, and every time this rotor comes around, it discharges that capacitor over here into this side over here. So that one discharges, then that one discharges. That's what the 2 contacts are on for the side. You see there's a wire running down here that goes to positive side over here of my rotor setup, and then you see this is my negative side that is actually going over to that negative plate on that side, and then the negative, this rod right here has a negative that goes up on here. And then out of the Van de Graaff itself is a little flexible wire that's into the ground on there that does this little tapping deal right here. Taps it on and off, takes away some of those electrons. So essentially, you get that thing going really fast, and it puts up a higher voltage over on this side, which begins to turn the rotor. When it's spinning up, the way I was spinning it, it turned in the opposite direction. So that's why I spun it that way, so that you could see that whenever it did start to spin by itself, it went that way. So just by spinning that static rotor up higher, at some high RPMs, I was able to build up enough charge using those capacitors to run this side over here. I think probably better than using a Dremel like I did last time would be to put some sort of belt or a little electric motor at that end down here to spin that. But what I'm working on is actually getting this to spin by itself using the static charge off of that, which you can see it's not balanced, so let's call that a fail for the moment. And then once that gets to spinning and those capacitors get to firing, it'll start turning this rotor on this side. So that's what I'm calling my static blaster. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll show you some updates as soon as possible. Peace and love, everybody. Take care. Alright, one little short addendum. Don't know if you noticed that there's some spheres down here that were 3D printed by Mark over there at Zero Fossil Fuels, and inside these deals right here are 3/4 inch neodymium spheres that are loose inside there, and there's 4 of those around. The reason for those, and the reason for the magnet arch that you see up inside of there, let me see if I can do this, is I'm testing static electricity effects with magnetic effects to see if I get any interactions between the two. And when I figure something out, I'll let you know, but in the meantime, there's little magnets on the side right there you can see. When you spin this rotor around, you can hear those neospheres inside there spinning around as well. Though I haven't hooked this up to any power yet, because it's just hot glued on there, and I'm expecting that if I get the RPMs up too much, it'll probably come flying off the handle. But later on I'll try to build it better and do another experiment with that bottom half that you're looking at right now. But that's what that particular gizmo down there is for, is to see if when I get it the thing the way I want it, where I got a lot of static discharge, whether or not these magnets move at all in any form or whatever. I want to see whether or not I'm going to get any kind of reaction. But anyway, that's what that is. So I wanted to throw that in there, and I'll let you know how it comes out. Anyway, this rotor right here is basically a wiffle ball that has been cut and made into a rotor with aluminum tape, sitting on an old antenna that's sitting on a stainless steel rod that you can see down inside there. If you can see that or not. Looks like everything's freezing up again. Alright, once again, everything made out of junk and recycled stuff. 2 pop bottles, soda bottles, root beer, whatever. with 2 built-in capacitors, old coffee, plastic coffee container, some aluminum tape and aluminum foil, and some 3D printed spheres that Mark made. Really nice job on those. And the 3D disc there, the disc down there that was 3D printed as well. And that was done by my buddy Thomas, who's the same one who done these over here for those experiments with hard drives, which getting ready to do experiment on those. And I'll let you see down in here before I take this apart. This is another one that I'm going to be doing involving static. Basically a Wimshurst style static generator. We'll just have to see how those play out. Alright everybody, that's the short addendum. Peace and love. Stay tuned.